Hey guys, TheJordude from Axus Gaming here, and I'm going to do another deck profile. This is currently January 29th, so it's almost the end of the January season. They just made the changes to Undertaker. Undertaker used to be the effect used to read whenever you summon a minion with Deathrattle, gain +1 attack and health. Basically with the old Undertaker, it used to be really broken if you opened up with Undertaker and another 1-drop like a web spinner, or if you're going turn 1 and then you had a 2-drop Deathrattle like a mad scientist. It used to be really hard to deal with Undertakers, and it could get out of control really easily if you didn't have an answer to it early on. So basically with the changes that Undertaker can only gain +1 attack, no longer the extra health, it makes Undertaker really a lot easier to kill early on now, and it doesn't snowball and win you the game from turn 1. So basically, with the change to Undertaker, the decks that have been hurt are mainly Hunter, and Zoo has been hit with it too. But Hunter just had, because it has a web spinner, a 1-drop with a Deathrattle in its class, it made it a lot more consistent and more efficient to use the Undertaker with the Hunter, which made Hunter the top tier deck. So basically with that changes, a lot of Hunter players, they're going to be changing a lot of their decks. Undertaker is no longer a very powerful card in the deck, so it's going to change the way Hunters are played, in my opinion. Before, Hunters used to be really fast and just basically hit face and kill you, but now I think people are going to lean towards more of the control Hunter builds. Hunter, I believe, is still going to be a very strong class. It's just a bit weaker now without the Undertaker. So with that, I have an updated list of my Hunter deck. It's definitely a more mid-range control Hunter. The deck still focuses on using Deathrattle minions to gain advantage. And yeah, basically, you can view this list. I won't go over every card. I'll just go over the unique cards in this deck. So I do have the 1 Hunter's Mark. I do think that Hunter's Mark is really good against, especially decks like Ramp Druid when they have the Ancient of Wars. So Hunter's Mark is still a pretty strong card. I did cut it out a while ago, for a long time, but because I do have room, because I took out Undertaker, Hunter's Mark, I was able to find room to put 1 in. I still use the double web spinner because you could get some really nice beasts with it. It's a good 1-drop. I'm actually still debating if I should keep the web spinners. I might actually take it out, but I'll see how it goes for now. Because it doesn't have that synergy with the Undertaker on turn 1 or turn 2, it might be a cut. Double explosive traps, 1 feign death, because if you have somewhat of a board out with a bunch of death rattles, using feign death basically snowballs that even harder. Usually you want to use it when you could get at least 2 or 3 death rattles out, and if you had something like Baron Riven there, that's just crazy. So I do only play 1 though. It's definitely more of a tech card, because if you don't have a board, then feign death is useless. That's why you only need 1 in the deck. The 1 freezing trap just to slow down the tempo of your opponent. I do play that 1 deadly shot just in case there's like a stealth Shade of Nax, or if there's like mountain giant out, deadly shots up there. The 1 big game Hunter. I believe I took out the Undertakers for a big game Hunter and a or not big game Hunter. I took out the 2 Undertakers for a Defender Vargas and Hunter's Mark. I'll get into this later, but 1 big game Hunter for those Dr. Booms, Giants, etc. Rags. The Baron Riven there, not many people play this card. I did think that it was going to be a fantastic card when it first came out. I still think it's a great card. You hold it in your hand, and then when you have some board out, and then you could trigger death rattles under your control, you'll play the Baron Riven there and double all the death rattle effects, which is really nice. It's really good for stuff like definitely Savannah's Highmane, Savannah's works good with Dr. Boom, Pilot the Shredder. There's so many cards where if you double the death rattle, it's just insane. And then the 1 Defender of Argus, the reason why I have this in here is because you do play cards like Haunted Creeper, which Haunted Creeper, you have Pilot the Shredder, Sledge Belcher, Savannah Highmanes. You do get a lot of tokens, and that's what the Defender of Argus is up there, just to boost up that value. Harrison Jones, just because Warrior is a pretty good class and Paladin's a really good class. Also, I've done this before on like Jiraxis and stuff. So Harrison Jones is actually pretty decent. It's viable in like I think half the classes played, or half of the classes out of the 9. Let's see. I do have a Kill Facade. This is just more snowball. If you have somewhat of a board, it's kind of like Baron Rivendare, where if you have, or Feign Death, if you have somewhat of a board, you're just going to basically win the game so hard with it. So by dropping Kill Facade, trading a bunch of minions in, getting their Deathrattle effects, and then getting the minions back at the end of your turn, that's just really insane. And then I played a 1 Sneed. The reason why I have Sneed instead of something like Ragnaros is because it is a Deathrattle, so I might be able to get a double trigger off Baron Rivendare. If it dies, it could bring it back up with Kel'Thuzad. I could drop it and play Feign Death. So there's just so many synergy with it. So this is my current list of my Deathrattle mid-range control hunter. For substitutions, I would consider maybe taking out the web spinner. I'm just going to try it out for now. Cards you might want to put in. Let's see. The cards you might want to put in, maybe like you might want to Leash the Hounds. I don't recommend putting in a kill command because I don't have many beasts in the deck. You might also want other Deathrattles, such as you could put in Owls. Ironbeak Owls is fine. You might want, I don't know, it's really up to you. The deck has a lot of flexibility in it. You could put antique heal bots in. You could put Lothab. So many good cards. You could put Piloted Sky Golem if you want a more late game deck. And yeah, that's basically it. You could definitely try around with different builds, but this is my current Deathrattle build. So hopefully I could get some good example games in, and yeah, thanks for watching.